said that, I got this. John 6:53.
We on that.
Huh?
Yeah.
We on?
Yeah. They
Okay,
took the
so
took the
this is
thumbnail.
John chapter 6, verses 47. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. Is that true? Okay, the truth proceeding from Yahushua, because what Yahushua represents, really it represents a new way, the kingdom. You know,
everlasting salvation.
yeah, restoration of the nation of Israel, so on and so forth. So it says, this is the bread which cometh down from heaven, all right, that a man may eat thereof and not die. You see? So even if we die in Yahushua, which, if we die in Yahushua, we still have life. Right? So that's why I said you ain't gonna die. Okay? I am the living bread which came down from heaven. Excuse me. Voice go out. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. See? And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. All right? And that flesh represents essentially his sacrifice. Okay? All right? I'll read it again. It says, I am that living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of that bread, of this bread, he shall live forever. Okay? And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Okay, that world is Israel. All right?
Get it with the elect.
Yep. Okay, so hold on, let me see.
Yeah, the whole point is that you gotta believe in Yahushua.
That's it.
See, Yahushua is the man. This thing is solely believing in Yahushua. You receiving that plate. All right. Yahushua was born in what is known as a manger or feeding trough. So what it is you're eating Yahushua, which is what? The understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom, the breakdown, prophecies. See? This is why the Lord told Ezekiel to eat the whole roll. Alright? Because what did Yahushua say? He said, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. So when we're consuming this word, we're consuming Yahushua. Alright? The bitter and the sweet. Okay? In fact, if you ain't got nothing, you got something, okay, then after that, you know, I can.
Let me see, I got
Whatever y'all got.
Alright, this is John 7. St. John 7 and I'm gonna start at 36. It said, what manner of saying is this, that he said, ye shall seek me and not find me, and where I am thither ye cannot come. It says, in the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if a man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
That's the truth.
That's the truth, man.
So out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water, which is the knowledge, the understanding, the prophecies. We know exactly what is what. You see? And as you can see, out of the prophet's belly, out of our belly is flowing of living water, man. Any questions you got pertaining to the scriptures, pertaining to the world, we can give it to you. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Go ahead.
no, it's your Bob, because you start with the elders apostles on down, they're feeding us daily.
Daily.
They feed us daily, nightly, daily.
Yep.
When you look at vocab along the apologist movement, what is their whole movement about? About us. They
Stop
focus-
this, to stop this.
Yeah, they're zeroing in on
They ain't
us.
got no topics.
No topics. No.
See, these people wouldn't be relevant if the prophets wasn't online, man. None of these shows, these podcasts, and nothing would be relevant. You weirdos that's coming up, the blacks. I'm gonna disprove that the Israelites are not black. I'm gonna disprove that the Messiah is not black.
One video.
Get the fuck out of here.
And be wrong as hell.
Wrong as hell. We got multiple ways we can go into the scriptures through the skillfulness of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And this don't get, okay, now to give an example of rivers flowing, your belly full of rivers of water, is because you're going to find out new things and deeper understandings throughout the time you've been in this thing. The apostles been in it for 35, 40 plus. And they still come with new precepts, new scriptures, new understandings. Some things is a little more clearer than before. So that's what it means. Out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. Because what? The book is alive. You see? The book is alive. Old breakdowns that you heard 10 years ago may not have went through it, but if someone come, you'll be able to go into it. You know?
Hold on, I gotta finish up.
Just like with this whole son of perdition thing, with that maniac. You know? Now that topic hasn't been spoken about. Now, years ago, we already know that Judas Iscariot ain't in the truth. That was said years ago, man. I remember because I was wondering about that. You know? I remember very well because I had made a lesson saying that Yohana was Judas Iscariot. This was years ago. You know? But no, Judas Iscariot wouldn't even be in the truth right now. He wouldn't even be saying the Lord's name. He'll bug out somewhere.
But this the regeneration. He was in his time. That was his end.
That was it.
You know.
It says let another man take his office.
Yeah, and that was.
So he took his life.
Yeah, that's right.
Matthias. You know, but just to give a point that that whole understanding it just came out because new brothers and brothers who may not known it or didn't really understand the full aspect of it. Now the apostles and elders have did videos on it. Go ahead.
Matthew 13:52. Then said he unto me, or unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
Hey, we read that scripture out loud?
Yeah, we did. Prove the New Testament.
Yeah, read that again.
Matthew 13:52. It says, then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder.
A household is a manager of the house. Okay, we're managing the Lord's work, being ambassadors. All right, steward. There we go. That's the word, steward. You know what steward is within a couple of verses. Go ahead.
It says, which bringeth forth out of his treasure
Right.
things new and old.
Yeah, you can go down. That's what the scripture says. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. Like precept, like get understanding. So we go into the new, we go into the apocryphal, we go into the old, and we like Elder Apostle Gabar says, we marry the scriptures together. We marry the understanding. You see? We're joining it all together by going into the new, going into the old. What vocab called Hebrew hopscotch, but now he uses it. All right. Now he goes from one precept to the next precept to the next precept. That nigga ain't teach like that. All right. We showed the world on how to read the Bible, or at least the format. You know. Go ahead.
Got a parable really quick. This
Go
is
ahead.
Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verses 10. It says, I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me. Come, my beloved, let us go forth into the field. Let us lodge in the villages. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine flourish, whether the tender grape appear and the pomegranates bud forth.
That's the labor and the work and the
Yep,
business.
that's right. It says, there will I give thee my loves.
Yep.
That's that truth, those treasures. It says, the mandrakes give a smell, and at our gates are all manner of pleasant fruits, new and old, which I have laid up for thee, O my beloved.
Woo. The knowledge.
Yep, that's right.
Sir.
This is Isaiah 56. This is Isaiah 55 and 1. It say, ho, everyone that thirsty, come ye to the waters, and ye that have no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk.
Yeah, because hey, the Lord is that living water, okay? And you ain't gonna get nothing like this through any other avenue, except through the Lord. So what? Scripture talking about buy the, what it said, buy what?
It says, come ye, buy and eat.
Yeah, so that's what, to buy something is to purchase something, all right? You gotta labor to purchase something, right? So, as the scripture said, what? Buy the truth and sell it not, you know? Okay, go ahead.
It says, yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not?
Right, so we ain't gonna be satisfied by the things in the world, but the true satisfaction is through the words of the Heavenly Father. Because what? Yahweh Shai is the value of the book, and this is the true riches.
It says, hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight in itself in fatness. It say, incline your ear and come unto me, bear, and your soul shall live.
It says, eat ye that which is good. Yeah. So what's good? All right? Which is the paths of the Heavenly Father. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 6
Eat thou with thou.
and 16. 6 and 16, Jeremiah. It says, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way, and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way?
Yeah, the old path, the good way is the prophets, Jeremiah, Moses, King David, Solomon, you know,
And when you look at Yahweh,
Samuel.
yeah.
Look at the old path, the old way. What we Ezra, Jeremiah, Zephaniah, Obadiah, Amos. Look at the old path, Jonah.
Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan. Look at the old paths. Okay, the old way, which is where righteousness dwells at.
Oh,
Alright?
that's right. It says, and see and ask for the old paths, where's the good way? And
Right.
walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
See? We telling you to walk, go back to the ways of the go back to your power, your heritage. And y'all said, nah, I want to be an African American. No, I want to be a Latino, a Boricua. See? You know? You want to disregard your true nationality, and you want to go with the fuck the white man told you that you was. You know? He's telling you this is the way. This is the way. We're telling you this is the way of righteousness. This is the way of this is the path to everlasting life. You know? Yeah, it don't look all cool and fancy on how the world will portray what the world don't even know what the fuck righteousness look like. See, this is what righteousness look like. You know? But nah, you know, y'all hate. It's too much hate in your heart. But you hate the nigga that killed your mama. You hate a nigga that killed your daddy. You hate the doctor that didn't do the proper procedure on your son and the little nigga died on the goddamn surgery table. But we talking about the Lord and what the Lord likes and his dislikes and who he loves and who he fucking don't love. Oh, that's too much hate.
God, not my God.
See, I had a nigga tell me, well, my mama white. If the Lord don't like white people, then I don't believe in that Bible. You know?
I got a whole side of the family, they only deal with white women. They all light skinned. Yeah, they hated me after they knew I was doing it too.
Fuck.
It was one that inclined that tried to do his own research. I ain't here for
Fuck. Fuck them all. Shit.
it. John, back in John. Oh, did you have something? Mark?
No, I'm looking for something.
Okay, so back in John.
Hey, you know, so the only one that's gonna follow that path is the elect. It's like a you know when a dog, you know, you have the whistle and only a dog can hear.
Yeah.
That's the Holy Spirit. You know, that's that only what Yahweh Shai said. There you go, John 10. You know, my sheep shall hear my voice. So this ain't meant for everybody, man. If it say my sheep shall hear my voice, all right, that means the Lord is a separatist. He said my sheep. Now he didn't say all the sheep. My sheep. That's the sheep that Yahweh gave Yahweh Shai.
Here, I got something for you. This is John chapter 10. All right, I'm gonna read into it. In 19, it says there was a division. There was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings. And many of them said, he hath a devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Others said, these are not the words of him that hath a devil. Can a devil open the eyes of the blind?
So they battled. It was a dispute. It was a dispute. Hold on, real quick. You go into the dispute. They were disputing over Yahweh Shai. Well, this is what was told to his parents when he was first born. Yep. Luke 2. And this was happening right now. What's happening right now? You having people battle between if this is real and this is not. Yeah, us, we dispute. No, that's the heavenly. That's Yahweh Shai. He's the son of the only. He's the only begotten son. This, that, and the third. He's our savior. He's our Messiah. He's gonna come back, redeem us. And then you got others. No, that ain't true. That's, you know, Luke 2 and 34. 36, 34. And Simon blessed them and said unto Mary, his mother, behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. So he was already told, his parents was already told his life. Okay? He was already told that look, there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be battling, going back and forth, disputing because of your son. This is the rise and the fall of the people in Israel. And that's what it is. Yea, a sword shall pierce through thy own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. So that's where we at. The thoughts being revealed. Those that really worship Yahweh Shai and believe in him, and then those that don't. There's going to be some that say that they do, portray it like they do, but their actions are going to show a total different spirit.
Back in that John, chapter 10, verse 21. Others said, these are not the words of him that hath a devil. Can a devil open the eyes of the blind? And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. And it was winter, and Yahweh Shai walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him, and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be Hamashiach, tell us plainly. Why you have to tell y'all he's doing miracles? That's bugged out. It says Yahweh Shai answered them. Yeah. But they was trying to catch him up. Yahweh Shai answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me.
Right. You see what I'm doing, right? You see me healing. This ain't of me, this is from the Heavenly Father. It's just that simple. That's plain. what the scripture says is praying unto them that have understanding. Proverbs.
It says, but if ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you.
See, you got jakes that are not of the sheep or not of the sheepfold of Yahushua. You got wicked niggas out there, wicked niggas, spicks, wetback, drunken Indians out there that is not a part of the fold of Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says, my sheep hear my voice,
Right.
and I know them, and they follow me.
And they follow him. So it's like when we hear another doctrine, it's like, nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Now, once upon a time, we may have thought that this religion was right, but then you heard this is the way. And then you heard what is it, Isaiah, 30 and 20, get that?
Yeah, I said 30 and 20.
Yeah. Then when you heard a word behind it, saying, walk ye in it, the Spirit, what does it say? Stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance. You know?
This is Isaiah 30 and 20. It says, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity,
Right?
and the water of affliction,
Yep, because you're going to see your prophets, the men of the Lord out here on this concrete, going through hell, spectacle, sick, body element, having, body issue. That's the bread of adversity, the water of affliction. That's the hell that you're going to catch. The sicknesses. Go ahead.
it says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
No matter the condition, you still gonna see those prophets. You're gonna still see those men of the Lord out there. Go ahead.
It says, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers,
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Go ahead.
and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way.
This is the way. Okay.
Walk.
Now check it out though. It said you heard a word behind you. What does that mean? That means you was going in the wrong path. If you hear a word behind you, say, no, this is the way. That was Yahushua tapping on you. By the way of the prophets. If you hear a word behind you, you got to turn around. You got to change courses. You see? We have to change courses. If you're a man of the Lord, you're going to stick to the course. A lot of guys, they get on the course, then they end up turning back.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It says, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
Right?
When ye turn to the right, and when you turn to the left, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver and of ointment of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a minister's cloth.
Yep.
Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence. Then shall he give the rain of thy seed, that thou shalt sow the ground withal, and bread of the increase of the earth.
Yeah, so you got to cast out that old path. You got to cast out the idols. You got to cast out that false religion and all of that. Okay? You got some more there? Or that's it?
I got this.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Revelation 3 and 12. Revelation 3 and 20. It said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him as he with me.
Yeah, so the Lord said he stand at the door and knock. That's the angels opening up your understanding. Okay? Alright? Opening up your mind. Ministering into you so you can receive salvation. He's standing at the door and knock. Remember, he is the door. Yahushua is, what is that, John 10 and 1. Alright? John 10 and 1. He's at the door. I stand at the door and knock. Meaning, he's opening up your spirit, opening up your mind.
Revealing those mysteries.
Revealing the mysteries, revealing the secrets.
that's what they couldn't get in his time. Which what he was doing was really restoring us back to the place, getting us back to our first love,
That's up.
which was obedience.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. It says to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. So when Yahweh got the word from Yahweh, see salvation, he gave him the word. Speak to the children of Israel, right? But majority of Jakes ain't gonna accept the elect. Same thing with us. We got the word from Yahweh Shai through the Spirit. By the way of the prophets. And it was really Yahweh Shai speaking through them that ignited, that ignited that spark in us, Yes, sir?
Yeah, back in John 10 and let's see, 8:28, 27. I'll start at 27. It says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand."
Yeah, so no witchcraft, no sorcery, no other religion, no vocab Malones, no Dr. Browns, no Christian plantation Christianity. Nothing can pluck or let children out of the Most High's hand. Okay? Out of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai's hand. Because they are, it says, ye are mine and they are thine. So ultimately, we're one with the Most High and His Son. Now, how can you take, how can you do something with that? As far as the philosophies, the religions, and things like that. See, because Esau is trying to, what he's doing is trying to manipulate as many as he can to not follow his truth. Well, if anybody you get vocab that goes on your panel and goes with the fuck you say, let's say an Israelite dude be like, oh shit, you know what, vocab is right. He wasn't under the laws anyway. Oh shit, Dr. Brown was right. That ain't the Hebrew. You wasn't under the laws anyway.
Yeah, because this thing is based on faith. It was based on faith, and that's
a gift that was given for the Most High. Everybody ain't got faith.
Right. It's pure. So if you reject it, which it ain't just we just hearing these things and we just going with it. These things are being proven. There's certain signs, and if you don't catch on to it, then that's really when Yahweh shines. Like we just saying, or the Lord was just saying things out of his mouth and not doing certain things, proving his validity. Now, with we know the Spirit dealing with us because of apostles and elders, we start with the apostles and elders, because of them fulfilling what the scriptures say, them having the word of living waters.
Well, it's cool. It's an unseen thing. Yeah. It's a spiritual thing. You can see it through the spirit. It's a very unseen situation we're in. You can see that, those are the prophets. But when you listen to them, you listen to the videos, listen to the brothers' videos, the apostles' videos, the spirit is getting with brothers. Right? It's a spiritual thing. Ain't nothing carnal. That's why vocab kept on. That's why he don't understand this.
He's a natural man.
Yeah. I get that too. Yeah, natural man.
This is spiritually discerning. You gotta be spiritually
exactly to deal with this.
You gotta know.
Is it 2 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians? 1 Corinthians.
Lawyer posted in the chat that he's gonna be absent. Captain, well, he ain't gonna be here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, come. This is Matthew 24. I'm gonna start at 22. It says, "And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
But it ain't possible. It ain't possible.
They ain't close, Jack. Yeah, boy, I got something. This is John 4:10. It says, Yahushua answered and said unto them, hold on, maybe I should read it to you. This is John 4 and, yeah, I'm going to get to the point. 4 and 10, it says, Yahushua answered and said unto her, all right, if thou knewest the gift of God and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, because he's talking to the Samaritan woman at the well, I believe. All right, and it says, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. All right, and really, that's all you have to do is ask the Lord. But how many of these chicks that's really, you know, about Yahushua that really want to know him? They don't really want to know him. They're searching for a
Well,
sign.
he don't want to know them either.
Yeah, exactly.
He don't want to know them. That's only given for the prophets. They're right there asking, you shall receive. That's only for the prophets. Because they got the name.
Yeah, hypothetically, if they were to ask, it ain't like the Lord, but they not. So it's just like,
Yes, sir.
God, I can go back to, because I ain't finished John 6.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is John 6 and 51. It says, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world, which is Israel. That's why he gave his life. So the Jews therefore strove among themselves.
Yeah, that's why, Yahushua told Satan, he said, a man shall not live by bread alone. For every word. So, let's talk about this truth. That's how we're going to live. We're going to live by the words of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Ultimately, the words of the Heavenly Father that He gave it to His Son, that He gave it to us. That's the proper way. It's the proper way.
It's the bread from heaven. It says, the Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Then Yahushua...
So really, Yahushua was a miracle for us. Because just like in Egypt, just like in the wilderness, the Lord made manna literally fall from heaven. And Jake was eating it. See? He really made it fall out of the sky. And Jake was eating it and being fulfilled. It was a miracle. So Yahushua came as that same miracle that came from the heavens. And you gotta eat him, so to speak, but eating him is the words. Eat this roll. You see? John was told to take this little book, and it'll be bitter in thy belly and sweet in thy mouth. Okay? So you're gonna have the good, and then you're gonna have the affliction and the bad that comes with this thing. You know?
It says, then Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, ye have no life in you.
And the blood is what? The blood is a representation of that protection. See, remember the blood on the doorpost going back into Egypt? That you gotta put on your, it said the doorpost. Now that's the same representation of the exemption, because Yahushua said, I stand at the door and knock. So that blood is an actual covering. Remember, before the destroyer had to come in, if you want to get that story, before the destroyer went to destroy, you had to put the blood on your doorposts so you could be exempt from the judgment that was going on in Egypt. So Yahushua, having that blood, by drinking his blood, is ultimately having the protection.
You see.
You see? Because guess what? He shed his blood, and that blood was to cover the ultimate elect. Shed his blood, and that blood was to cover the ultimate elect.
All right, so Exodus 12,
13, 12. Verse 12, yes, something 12.
Exodus 12 and 12, it says, "For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you."
See, that's the blood that you're supposed to drink. That's that blood is a representation of the exemption from judgment. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, "And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt."
See, and that's going to happen all over again. So you want to have that blood. You want to drink that blood. All right? That's why all the scriptures is very important to understand. Okay? You got to know these breakdowns. You got to know the hidden mysteries of it. Because the Passover is a representation of the prophets and the truth. You got to eat the bitter wine, Yahweh blood, you know. The lamb without blemish is a representation of Yahweh, and then yourself, you got to be without blemish because you are a sacrifice. So it all makes sense. It all comes together in different ways, man. I come in the volume of the book, it's written in me. Go ahead.
It says, verse 14, it says, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. All right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, look for where it says, strike it on the lintels.
Oh, that's up. That's up. A few words. This is Exodus chapter 12, verses 7. It says, "And they shall," verse 6, "and ye shall keep it," speaking on the Passover, it says, "unto the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening," speaking about the sheep, right? It says, "And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden," meaning boiled. Yeah, I mean, the little doorposts, right?
Yeah. Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Go ahead, read it again. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, my bad.
This is
I didn't
Exodus
hear.
chapter 12, verse 7.
I'm waiting on it like, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Exodus chapter 12, verse 7. "And they shall take the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it."
Yeah, so that's a representation of the spirit, the mind. That's the doorpost. He said, "I stand at the door and knock," talking about the opening up your mind. So that blood is a representation of that. No?
This is 1 Peter 1 and 2. It says, "Elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High,
Yep.
the Father through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shai.
That's it.
Hamashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied."
That's it. So that's how we were redeemed. We were redeemed by the sprinkling of the blood. And because within the Yahweh's blood, there's life. So that's how we obtain that everlasting life. You got it out.
There's one. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, "And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Yeah, man, 'cause that's literal right there. Sighing and crying. Well, what we doing right now is a form of sighing and crying, man.
Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. That's why, you know, get on Israel. Don't shoot by people that transgress.
Hey, and in certain circumstances, you'll end up crying and sighing and physically. You see, when you're going through some hell, you're going through it, demons on you, spirits on you, you're fasting, you're going through this situation, you're going through that obstacle, you're jumping over that hurdle, you know, you're tripping over that log, you're trying to get back up, scraping your knee and shit, you know. Going into Babylon, he's just constantly crying, sighing, like, when the fuck is we gonna get out of here? You cut on the TV, there's moles everywhere. You go, you take your child to school, you see a goddamn mow in the school, you know? So it's constantly crying and sighing for the abominations, man. This devil's trying to fuck us, literally. He's trying to fuck the world, man. He's trying to fuck the world, he's trying to fuck the world, poke the world, all right? Well, we gotta cry out about that shit, man. He's trying to get us to become him.
Yeah, put
No?
his spirit on us.
Yeah, he's trying,
like a man
which is what? Contrary to the Lord. By playing in somebody's DNA, you're turning it off to guide you. That's their MO. We're gonna get them to believe and worship us. We're gonna see that those nano particles, those nanotechnologies, is little machines to the. You can't even see it. You can't even see them damn mini ass machines that they inject in your skin and they go to work.
And it's just crazy because they all mesh together, they connect together.
Yeah.
You know, and they're positively and negatively charged, so they can be remotely charged.
Exactly. And that's your cancer.
That's crazy.
That's your cancer. That's why people's blood is thick.
Yeah. And they got that black. It's like
yeah.
it's like I'm thinking sludge, like a black type of sludge. But it's negative. It's positively positively charged.
Yep. Well, that's Esau.
So quick.
So that's the sign and crying. Go ahead.
This is Micah 2:10. It said, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It's unclean, man. This place is filthy. Right? It's like the brothers break it down, man. You got transgenderism, Moism, you got all this bullshit going on here in Babylon.
All this isms.
All these different isms, man. It says they shall destroy you even with a sword destruction.
This place was morally corrupt.
Yeah, morally corrupt.
You know, and that's one of the biggest signs of the downfall of society is the decadence.
Decadence. Yeah. Moral decay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's why it says the uttermost part of the earth, which is low rate of worth. You know, we know. Look, you know, begin with the apostles. We know what we're talking about, man. Because this place got to go. You know, a lot of you Israelites don't want this place to go, but this motherfucker gonna go, man. All right. Hey, it said no hand join hand with the wicked. No hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Okay? So the wicked is going to be punished for all the filth that it's been doing, man. All right?
That's right. Did I finish this?
No, you get some more now.
God, Ezekiel 9:4. God, it says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
The what? The what? An exemption. Go ahead.
And to the others he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have you pity.
I mean, go kill. Go kill.
Slay
Kill. Now, remember in the Apocrypha it says that they do what the Lord pleases.
Yep.
They do all his pleasure. Spirits created for vengeance. So that's what's gonna happen. Okay? From an infant all the way into the age, the ancient. The angels ain't gonna spit. They don't have emotions, man. You know? They ain't got emotions, man. See? After a certain time, you see so many dead bodies or hacking at a motherfucker, you kinda, damn. Angels ain't gonna get tired. You see? That's why the angels tend to do this work. There's only so many hacks a motherfucker can do with a sword before you get fatigued. Angels, they finna just rip through this place, man. And that's what we telling you people. It's finna be a lot of all-out death going back today. See? Go ahead.
It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. All right? Which that word is tawad, the Hebrew word is tawad, which means exemption from judgment. And those that are exempt are the ones that sigh and that cry against the abominations. So the Lord's people, the elect, are wholly against this society. All right? So it says, and begin at my
You can't
sanctuary.
like this bitch a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. You can't even like this bitch a little bit.
It says, I'll read it again. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children,
Maids is young women. Go ahead.
and women, but come not
See?
near.
Double fold. Alright? So you young bitches, you old bitches, you middle aged bitches, you little bitches, you skinny bitches, you fat bitches, you tall bitches,
Small,
you broad shoulder bitches, big back bitches,
volleyball
midget
playing
bitches. You know, all you bitches. Young maids and women.
Women. It says, but come not near any man.
You know the Lord got a problem with you motherfuckers. He named y'all twice.
Because the women they'll have servants in the ancient world. They had servants, women.
Young
That would
women,
serve, yeah.
young women, and you women. He could have just said women. But he said young, he said maids. Maids is a young woman, 12 years old and down. 12, you know, young. A maid, a young woman. 12, 13, 14, 15, young maid. Alright? Then you got the old hoes. Vivica Funky Fox. I hate that bitch look like a melted Twix.
Oh my gosh, she used to look bad, but now she's
Through.
Hella abortions.
Oh my God.
Hella abortions. You can tell that bitch had a lot of abortions. She ain't even gotta say it. Yeah, bitch, you had a lot of abortions. You ain't got no kids and you 56. You been in the industry. Come on now.
No
Niggas don't
kids?
pull out. Or the Lord cursed you. And you can't have them.
Yeah.
Because you're a filthy, funky bitch. It's like,
Lil Kim too.
Oh, little Kim.
weirdo.
Right,
Weirdo bitches.
It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the porch.
Again at my sanctuary, going back to the Israelites. Begin at my sanctuary.
This is crazy right here. Verse 7, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain, go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. So they got, he said defile his temple. So they got killed in the temples, in the porch of the temple, you know? Man, that's crazy. The Lord defiled his own temple with the slain of Israel. You know?
Hey, I got the example. Chronicles 21 saying how the angel slayed Jerusalem because he was numbering Israel. So this is the prime example what an angel do to your ass if you fuck up, try anything stupid. You know what I'm saying? Disregarding the Lord's commandments, man. Right?
7 real quick. See, it says, and the Most High was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. Matter of fact, did he smote him? I'm trying to smote him yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read 8. It says, and David said unto the Most High, I have sinned greatly because I have done this thing. But now I beseech thee, do away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. And the Lord spake unto Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and tell David, saying, Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. It says, Thus saith the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So God came to David and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, choose thee either 3 years of famine or 3 months to be destroyed before thy foes, while that the sword of thy enemies overtake thee, or else 3 days the sword of the Lord, even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coast of Israel. Now therefore advise thyself. Basically he gave David a choice, man. You know? It says,
And all of them was hard.
Yeah.
All of them was hard. I wouldn't do what I was doing.
It ain't even a lesser evil in
it says, now therefore advise thyself that word I shall bring again to him that sent me. And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait.
Yeah.
Let me fall now into the hand of the Lord. For very great are his miracles, but let me not fall into the hand of man. So
Yeah. You know, David was a warrior. I ain't getting chased by them. I ain't getting chased by my enemies now.
No. He ain't gonna overtake me. He said, so the Lord Yahweh sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. And the power sent an angel unto Jerusalem to destroy it. And as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough. Stay now thy hand. And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor of Ornan and Jebusite. And David lifted up his eyes and saw the angel of the Lord standing between the earth and the heaven, having drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem.
Then he was just like this. With a sword drawn. Now, let me have it.
He said, then David and the elders of Israel who were clothed in sackcloth fell upon their faces. And David said unto the Most High, it is not I that commanded thee people to be numbered, even I, it is that have sinned and done evil indeed. But as for these sheep, what have they done? What have they done? They say, let thy hand, I pray thee, O Lord Yahweh, my power, be on me and on my father's house, be not on thy people, that they should be plagued. Then the angel of the Lord commanded Gad to say to David that David should go up and set up an altar unto the Lord into the threshing floor of Ornan and Jebusite. And David went up at the saying of Gad, which he spake in the name of the Lord. And Ornan turned back and saw the angel and his 4 sons with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat. And as David came to Ornan looked and saw David, and went out of the threshing floor and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. Then David said unto Ornan, grant me the place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar therein unto the Lord. Thou shalt grant it to me for the full price.
That's
Yeah. I just wanted to read that point, that how the angel, you know what I'm saying, smote Jerusalem.
he had to repent and go make an offering for the Lord. You got some more of that? We can end it off on this.
Ezekiel 9 and well, here I'm gonna do Amos.
Okay.
It's like drawn to the conclusion of the whole matter type thing. So Amos chapter 9 verses 9. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Yeah, so the Lord is sifting the house of Israel, shaking it up, and he's gonna choose his elect. Okay? None shall be plucked out of my hand. The Lord is gonna, that's what I mean by no grain shall fall to the earth, which is what? The elect. So the Lord is always gonna have his elect shielded. All right? Go ahead.
It says, verse 10, it says, and all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword,
Yep.
which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yep, because Jake really don't believe the things that the prophets have been speaking about. They don't think that it's gonna come to pass. No joke's on you, because it's gonna happen. That's what long suffering is about. Well, that's what prophecy is about, to save the forth. Remember, we are dealing with Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shah. We're dealing with the supreme being Yahweh's time, not ours. See? Not ours. If one day to the Lord is 1,000 years, how much more 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 100 years? It's not too, that ain't nothing for the Lord. You know? It's nothing. We got long suffering. Go ahead.
So it says, verse 10, well, verse 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Yep, the northern and the southern kingdom coming back together. We had glimpses of it throughout the different organization groups that popped up, the Young Lords and the, Black Panther parties. It was a thing where Jake was trying to get together because they really couldn't put it in stone. This is the real true tabernacle of David coming together.
What they had, a Rainbow Coalition?
The
or something?
coalition, yeah. Fred Hampton got the Young Lords and which is the Issachar and the Gadites and stuff like. They was all dealing. Ephraim was dealing. Everybody was dealing. It was like a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
But the true tabernacle of David, us coming together in righteousness, is here.
Hey, don't they go in Ezekiel the 37th chapter where the sinews and all that was on them, like the flesh came back,
Yep.
but the breath wasn't. They didn't have a breath.
Say that.
Huh. So it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yeah. The breaches is all the differences. The scrimmages, the fighting, the hate. But I'm reading in what was I reading?
I'm in Ezra. But that same word breach is in too, because the walls breach.
No, I'm talking about Jake, man. I believe in Isaiah. Where I'm at? I'm in 8 or 9. I forget where I'm at. I think I'm in like Isaiah, the 8th chapter or the 9th chapter. And the king of Israel was siding with the Syrians to go against Judah. So you had the northern kingdom fighting with the allies with heathens to come up against Judah. So when it says I will raise up the breaches, read it again.
It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and
Right.
close up the breaches
And
thereof.
close up the breaches, which is the differences. Okay, because you had it where Jake was fighting. You had it where Jake was fighting against each other with the heathens, man. You had the northern kingdom. It's like I'm trying to turn my damn thing, or I made a mistake and cut the damn lights out. Okay. But Salakia, you had Israel being allies with other heathen nations to go fight against Judah, man. So when it says
Yeah.
closing up the breaches, it's
Yeah.
meaning they're taking away all those differences. Because remember, after Rehoboam and Jeroboam, the northern and southern kingdom, they hated each other. They hated each other. You read the stories on it. They hated each other.
And
They were slaughtering each other. They was going out trying to besiege, going to take each other out.
they were both-
It was mainly Israel,
Yeah.
the northern kingdom, trying to do it to Judah. You know?
There was a man who was going off the most.
Yeah, all of the kings of Israel were tweaking. Ain't none of them was right.
Yeah, because Judah had fought, they would have fought too, but not as much as the
Yeah. But Judah watched Israel do the wickedness, and then they continued to follow along with it. So what's happening now is, which they ain't never seen before, northern and southern kingdom coming together. This is a miracle. Because we was for so long at odds with each other since back in the ancient world. Okay? We've been at odds since the ancient world. We ain't been together since the ancient world.
Goes back to the sticks joined together.
Yep. Now when Judah came over here on the slave ships, you had the Gadites, Black Indians, because they knew that we was brothers and we was brothers. So they started to band together, fight together. Issachar was there, Ephraim was there. They don't tell you those stories though. Ephraim, Issachar, and Gad, they was fighting alongside with Judah. In different. So it's finally here. Get Acts 1 and 6. It's finally here, the restoration of Israel. You're witnessing it. You're witnessing the northern and southern kingdom being at peace with one another. That's the beginning with the hope for the elect. Yep. That's what's important. Y'all can't explain why blacks, Latinos, Native Americans are just so, and those that's calling themselves Israelites love each other. Ain't no beef with color, ain't no beef with gangs, and none of that shit. That's the raising up the tabernacle of David, man. Something that was far long seen, man. Because you bitches, you trained the northern kingdom to hate us too. Colorism.
motto. Yeah. all
You
that.
know?
But
That's
the
why,
elect-
hey, that's why this is fucking terrifying to the elites. You mean they ain't beefing over gangs, different black gangs and the Puerto Rican gangs and the Mexican gangs? You know? Go ahead.
This is Acts 1 and 6. They say, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Yep, and this is because this was the thing that the prophets, the disciples knew. They knew the history. They knew eventually we were all going to come together. They didn't know when. You see? The tabernacle of David fully began here. Because back at that time, the northern kingdom was long gone since the, what? 8th
Oh
century?
yeah. They was gone.
They was
Yeah,
going a
it was like-
long time, since 7th, 8th,
Yeah.
around there. King David's around the 8th century.
8th century BC.
King David, 8th century BC.
8th century BC, that's around 730. That's when
Seven-
the Syrian Empire.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
Because, what's his name?
Shemalezer.
Tiglath.
Tiglath-Pileser,
Tiglath,
Salmon.
yep. Because I remember the time period that he was in. So that was around that time period.
Yeah, that's when
That's a long ass time, man. That's a long time.
they went to the Syrian, captivity. Yeah, they went to the Syrian captivity.
It's a heavy prophecy.
And they came over here.
It's a heavy prophecy that we're back together. Yeah, that's 2 6. That's a heavy prophecy. Go ahead. You said it again.
Come, this back in Acts 1 and 6, it says, when they therefore,
That's why they scared.
Yeah.
That's why they scared. And we kept these niggas separated. That was a miracle in itself right there. For Issachar to be like, you my brother. For Ephraim to be like, you my brother. For Jake, you know. And you know, it was always in us. In different neighborhoods, different areas. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it always
It was always
always
Jake,
amongst
always
each other
amongst
anyway.
each other.
Like in Chicago, for instance.
Yep.
Like you go down to the city, man, you know what I'm saying, like on 64th, 63rd, you know what I'm saying, like two parts, you know, on the south side, like or the back of the yard. You don't see Jake. You don't see a Judite roaming around in a Issachar neighborhood, staying. Some Jake, some Judah join. They clicks and shit.
Yep.
You know, it been like that for years.
I knew a Jake who was a Latin king.
Yep.
I knew a nigga who was a Latin king. Yeah.
That's Latin Kings exclusive to
Yep. I knew a nigga that was a Latin king. Yeah.
I know it's some wicked shit, but that's how it is.
but the elect, you know, is coming together.
Yeah.
The elect of the tribes.
That's the
So
most
that's
important
it.
part.
Yep. This back in Acts 1:6, it says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Yep.
And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons,
Right.
which the Father hath put in his own power. But ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both Jerusalem and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and in the uttermost part of the earth.
And this is where we at right now. This is where we're witnesses at, the uttermost part of the earth. This is where we're testifying of Yahweh Shai. Alright? This is the ending of it. Coming over here and prophesying. Remember Yahweh Shai, the angel, I believe you have told John that ye shall prophesy again. So this is where you're going to prophesy again at.
Hey, I got something real quick. To land back up for the breaches being closed. Isaiah 11 and 12. Oh, that's
Go ahead.
God.
I was thinking about it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just didn't. Yeah, as soon as he said yes, I knew exactly.
God. Isaiah 11 and 12, it says, and he shall set up an enzyme for the nations.
Start a verse up where it says, Judah shall not envy.
Well, that's 13.
Oh,
That's
okay,
coming
okay.
up. Isaiah 11 and 12, and he shall set up an enzyme for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Verse 13, it says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
That's closing the breaches.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Right?
But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. So that's the point.
That goes to what he's saying. They're going to be scared. That's why Yahweh Shai had to go where he said, I have somewhere to go that you cannot follow.
Yep.
So yeah,
And he came over here and taught the northern kingdom, whether you believe it or not. That's raw as hell. He came and taught them, set them up.
Luke 19:10. The Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. And who was lost? We just went over. The northern and the majority of Israel. And we had to get the northern kingdom back somehow, somewhere.
And that way is through the scriptures. That way is now. Like Yahweh Shai, I call it Yahweh Shai's prophecy. He said, you all got to come over here and do this work all over again first. Then that's where the restoration of Israel is going to be. You know? So with that, like give all going on and praises to Yahweh.
Awa, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
The Bible Apostle Brother Millstone, peace, salutation, hope for elect, this doing work of truth is here. A Bible ball.
Bible ball.
Lord willing, next week.